Fragments and run-together sentences are the most pervasive errors I see in student writing, so I'm just going to go over them really quickly. By the way, run-together sentences are also known as run-ons, comma splices, and fused sentences. Different instructors use different terms. Let's start by reviewing the 4 different kinds of sentences. The simple sentence, the compound sentence, the complex sentence, and then the compound complex sentence. I'm reviewing these, and I'll let you pause and look at them, because see this comma right here? This comma right here is the comma that gives students trouble. I find that students generally don't have comma trouble. They think they do. You think you do, but generally you don't, unless maybe you use too many. But this comma right here between 2 independent clauses, this is a necessary comma. So you've got an independent clause, subject, verb, subject, verb. You need the comma before the but. The but is a fanboys. If you don't know that term, you can look it up. Fanboys stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, so, the coordinating conjunctions. So that's one reason I'm reviewing these 4 sentence types. The second reason is, see this word right here, although? It's a dependent word. See how what you've got here after although? He is now 79 years old. That's a complete sentence. But because we added this dependent word to this complete sentence, now we need to lean it up against another complete sentence. He still claims to be 65. That could be its own sentence. But we've created a complex sentence by adding a dependent word. So a fragment is an incomplete sentence that lacks a subject, a verb, or a complete thought. These are the different kinds of fragments, or 3 different kinds of fragments, but the trickiest one is a dependent clause fragment. It's what I was referring to before. When you've got this dependent word with a complete sentence, you need to lean that dependent clause up against an independent clause. Here's a long list of dependent words. We call them subordinating conjunctions and relative pronouns, but these all function the way I'm describing. So this kind of fragment is called a dependent clause, the kind of fragment that begins with a dependent word, and it has to be joined with a complete sentence to be considered complete. So you can pause the screen here and complete these sentences. You've got 3 dependent clauses, so I want you to lean them up against independent clauses in order to fix the fragments. Moving on, run together sentences. It's simply 2 or more sentences written as if they were one. And the example is admittedly a simple example because those are 2 really short independent clauses. Andrea likes to eat. Really short independent clause or complete sentence. Independent clause means the same thing as complete sentence. And then she hates to cook, another really short independent clause. It's not correct to join them with a comma, but there are 5 ways that you can join them, and I'll let you pause and have a look here. And I'll just go on to the last slide, which provides you some resources, the one that my students seem to like the most, and that I will give you as extra credit, that is Chomp Chomp up here, Grammar Bites or Chomp Chomp. Later in the semester, I'll let you do some